Hi and welcome to Birds of Bottle.
We've got to think about Christmas wine.
And we want you to have a thing about Christmas wine too.
So, what kind of Christmas day do you have?
Are you deeply traditional? You know, simply roast turkey with expected trimmings?
Or do you try and be a bit chefy and you watch every single cookery programme in December to try and get the latest twist on that traditional theme?
Or are you somewhat experimental?
Zoiks. In terms of Christmas wine, France and Burgundy are really traditional. But you can also take Chardonnay and Pinot Noir and get that sort of chefy feel by going to the New World.
Yeah. But Christmas Day is the last time you want to be somewhat experimental with the wine.
Is, yeah. Nobody wants a glass of Retsina with a white chocolate dipped blini with smoked salmon and sprinkling of Malteser.
So, on the traditional front, how lovely to have a Premier Cru Chablis with your classic canapés. And this is the finest 2011 version from Tesco, which is $14.99.
Yes. Now we think this is the one time of year when it's okay to splash out on wine.
One time, Mel, one time.
Okay.
When do we never?
Okay, but for those of you on a tighter budget who are less naughty than us, at the end of the video we've got some recommendations of cheaper but great Christmas wines.
Now it's got a perfect mineral nose,
Yeah.
hasn't it? I hope that doesn't sound too poncy, guys. It's not a vert, is it? It's not.
No, it's not, but it's creamy. You can tell it's had this time on lees, so it's got the sort of creamy yeastiness. Oh, there's so much palate texture on that, isn't there?
There is.
It's really, really creamy.
It's sort of one of the things you're paying for, isn't it?
It is.
You get that texture.
Yeasty, creamy, delicious. I mean, it's a dry white wine. It's got bright acidity, but it has that lovely creamy, leafy texture that you get on good Chablis,
Yeah.
like Premier Cru and upwards.
Yeah. Classic Chablis, classic canapés. Perfect. With your turkey, you need something with the weight to handle all those fabulous flavours.
Yeah, whether it be a more simple roast dinner or something a bit more out there.
Now, Mel rather fancies Tom Kerridge's turkey with a crumble topping made of sourdough, pork scratchings, pistachios and cranberries.
Yes, why not? So we've chosen the Verger Macon Boussière 2012, which is £16.50 at Oddbins.
Now I can smell it jumping up from the glass. Really attractive aroma.
It's got a hint of oak, but it's not overtly oaky, is it?
No.
And some lovely ripe fruit. So Macon, south of Burgundy, it's more sunny, more ripe, more sweet fruit.
And of course Chardonnay.
It's the polar opposite of the Chablis. It is round, rich. It's got no spiky edges.
No,
Very
it's
smooth.
really smooth. It envelops you, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's absolutely delicious.
And even though it's aged in oak, it's not oaky.
No.
There's just
No.
a touch of texture, but
If
nothing.
you don't like something really over-aged, this is going to be great with your turkey.
It certainly is. Delicious.
But you could take the leap to a New World Chardonnay if you wanted to be a bit more daring.
Yes, this Hayshed Hill Margaret River Chardonnay 2013 is £13.95 at the Wine Society.
Quite a green tinge to it, hasn't it?
Nice label.
And this is from Australia. As we said, Margaret River. Oh, that's ripe melons, isn't it?
It is really, really, you know in the summer sometimes a melon really becomes ripe.
Yeah, when it's just really kind of been in the sunshine. And,
There's definite oak on this. It's quite a savoury palate, isn't it?
deliciously so.
Yeah.
It's spicy, but with a nice balance of fruit.
Yeah, but it's not richly buttery.
No, it's not. So, if you want to separate out all your sprout leaves and fry them with lardons a la Heston Blumenthal. This has the balls to work beautifully with that.
But nobody wants to find anchovies in the bread sauce.
You are going to need a red as well, obviously.
Obviously. And for our classic red burgundy, we've chosen Lucien Mouzard's Santenay Meladière Premier Cru, if you please, 2011, which is $19.99 at Waitrose.
Now, Pinot Noir is ideal for Christmas lunch. The velvety tannins, the smoky flavours, the cherry fruit, it's all going to work with that Christmas razzmatazz.
It smells of heaven. If you love Pinot Noir, you need to be getting yourself a bottle of this, just for a treat.
It's
so Pinot, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a bitter cherry smell.
Yes,
really.
it is. And there's some Zanzibar spice in there.
Zanzibar spice, Sandra. Again, there's the bitter cherry on the palate. Smooth, smooth, smooth velvety tannin.
It's juicy though, isn't it? It's juicy and bright. Lovely bright acidity.
But it's definitely dry. It's very French.
It is. It's classic.
It's glorious.
It's glorious.
But if you want to go a bit chefy, you may want a Pinot with a bit more poke.
And this one fits the bill nicely. It is the Red Claw 2011, which is available from Marks & Spencer at £18. And this is from Australia's Mornington Peninsula.
It's a much more overt and new worldy Pinot smell. Glorious. And it's darker, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's darker, it's richer, it's riper. It's
Oh, it's sweet without being sweet, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Oh, it's lovely. So the fruit is offset with some savoury oak flavour, but it's not chewy and hard, is it?
It's beautifully rounded and velvety and ripe and just delicious.
It's just delicious. Now, if you want something to go with this spicy, interesting food, what about Jamie's roast duck with Christmas rub and marsala gravy?
That does sound delicious and different, and nobody wants to find halloumi and avocado lurking in their stuffing.
They certainly don't.
No, but neither of these Pinot Noirs will disappoint. In fact, none of our wines will disappoint. They are all fabulous.
So stay tuned for our list of recommendations of cheaper Christmas wines.
Yeah, and see you next week because we've got perfect champagne.